Cut joy, cut joy, cut joy, cut joy. Test, 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 test net. Gotta be test net. Gotta be test net. I aim one says, am I late for TA or continuation from yesterday? Yeah, it's continuation from yesterday. So I aim one. What is your protocol when you show up in the morning for US market? What's the first thing that you do? Do you have a protocol in place? Make sure that every day you have a protocol that you can go through. So is it a bad high? Is it a good high? Where is VWAP, right? Do you have a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario? Bullish scenario will be the golden pocket holds, okay? And then we continue to go higher on some sort of like Fibonacci extension. So somewhere between like 115, 116, okay? That would maybe be the next level to the upside. The next level to the downside is easy as fuck. I mean, if it makes a failed auction, right? You've got a full rotate. So instead of the golden pocket or the point of control or the VWAP being support, it actually loses, and then you have a failed auction off of the all-time high. So you can either short here, invalidation there, or that's actually gonna hold and you'll go higher. So that level right there is very, very important for today. And again, like that's that, it's basically like, are you gonna failed auction? Are you gonna do a failed auction above the high? That's it. I am one. So I guess it's a continuation, but the most important thing, in my opinion, is you have a protocol in place. So what are the chances that it could go up higher? Clearly, if it's a bad high, then you've got a chance to clean it, right? Was the high made overnight? You know, have you seen overnight highs get cleaned? So you've got the probabilities of the high not being in yet, right? And so if it makes another higher high, you've got two short opportunities. You've got a swing fail, but more than likely you're looking at maybe like 115, 116 for another short opportunity. If it doesn't go higher, then your short opportunity will be to play the failed auction. Whether you want to take the 886 now, or you want to wait for market open. Maybe you want to see if the RTH sweeps the overnight high. All right. So you should have a, I don't really know about a scalp long today, but you should have a scalp, like a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario. Blink John says, I already did play it. Even though I dollar cost averaged short, I'm still in a tiny loss. I don't know how that's possible. Okay, so if you're in a short, this 886, so this is Kimba box, right? So you're going to take this and you're going to divide it into fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you're going to ratio it up and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. So if you want to do a 50 Bitcoin short, for example, you do 5 here, you do 10 here, you do 15 here, and then you do 20 at the 886, right? So if you do get fulfilled, your average entry should be right here, right? Assuming that this is what you did, you would have gotten the third one filled, okay? So you would have 5 plus 10 plus 15, okay? Your average entry should be right here if you did this correctly. You can't lose. How does you dollar cost average and you're going to tell me you're underwater on a short? That doesn't make sense. So what did you do different from that, Blink John? The other thing too, Blink John, is remember, that is not the greatest high right there. Therefore, me personally, I'm not really trying to short the 7.5. You know what I'm going to try to do, right? If it really is a failed auction, the golden pocket that should hold its support is going to fail. It's going to do this. Dink. So whether it's from the 886 or the 7.5, that's the bearish retest I rather take. Me personally, what I would like to see is go there, bounce first, then lose it. I have my invalidation. Yeah, but you can do whatever you want to do, but I've done the same shit for the last 2 years. So like you can do whatever you want, but if you want to know how to play it by the book, or if you want to make it so that you don't lose, then just do it like how I do, by the book. Kachoy. Blink John says, I'll tell you because I'm short via ETF and TradFi. I woke up underwater. I did not want to sell ETH. I'm in from 110. Got you. Well, just be aware that we could go all the way up to 115. Okay. So just make sure that you have a plan in case, you know, we continue to make higher highs. Yeah, Pinko Panko says, Kimba, where do you anchor your VWAP? Pretty much everywhere that the book says. Yeah, so the most obvious would be to anchor it from the local high and the local low. But you can do things like daily VWAP. So what is that? How would you do a daily VWAP? Right, you set your UTC, you set your time zone to UTC, and you go from 00 to 2340, 2359.59, right? So like you could have a daily fixed range volume profile. You could say, I wonder what yesterday's value area high and yesterday's value area low was, right? You could say, I wonder what the value area high or the value area low was for the last 2 hours. You could pull an anchor. I mean, I could pull an anchor VWAP from here if I wanted. Right? But pretty much everywhere that the book says you should pull anchor VWAP from, I will do it. Right? And then from there, I'll see which one has the most amount of confluence. There might be a time where you pull an anchor VWAP, it's like a weekly VWAP. Or maybe it's a all-time high VWAP. And that one lines up at the 7.5, or that one lines up with the single print. So in the end, Pinko Panko, you should pull VWAP from everywhere. All right? Just like how you would have volume profile from everywhere. And then the ones that overlap and the ones that have the most amount of confluence is the ones you want to stick with. Yeah, but you can do local high, local low. You could do time-based VWAP. The ones that you're seeing on the sessions template, right, is session-based VWAP. So they're being anchored at the start of every session. Can you tell the difference? Green and yellow. One is ETH, one is RTH. You'll notice that I have anchor VWAPs that start when RTH starts, and I have anchor VWAPs that start when ETH starts. Right? So you can have session-based, you can have time-based, you can have higher low-based. Yeah, any of them really. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. So you long in the VWAP. So here's the thing, right, Hazy? What would be one by the book what would be one thing by the book that would kind of turn you off to seeing something like this? It's the concept that the more times that you tap a level, it gets weaker, right? Because the common sense idea that you're asking yourself is, well, if so many people are buying there, why does it keep coming back and why can it not make a higher high? Why doesn't the price demand push the structure higher. Because you're thinking, okay, people are buying here, people are buying here, people are buying here. So when are we going to be able to, when are people actually going to start buying above 112? You know, when are people going to actually start buying 117,700? So you would want the demand to help you. Yeah, and then you really want to be careful for like, oh yeah, everybody's buying, let's go. Oh fuck. But yeah, level by level, at least what you've got going on is your point of control is higher, you know, but it's only been 2 hours since US market open. Yeah, but I think, you know, maybe based off of the lack of strength, you're going to probably put your stop loss a little bit more aggressively. So as long as you can't lose. Yeah. I mean, bro, dude, I love that you're longing the VWAP, but bro, I'm going to just say it like you're longing though. That's a little goofy, my guy. Little goofy. Okay? I love it, but let's just kind of step back for a second. You're longing 111. Ka-choy! So put that stop loss at break even, homie, right? Because you got to admit, that's kind of goofy. Right? I dig it, though. And I know you're not fucking around, and, you know, so I know you got good risk management. So I feel you. I know that you're going to shave a little bit if it makes a higher high, so you don't get got on some swing fail shit. Because if this swing fails on your ass, it's going to be so quick, you're going to wish that you TP'd the whole thing right above a higher high. You're a goofy guy. Longing up here, you're a goofy guy, but I like it. But you see what I mean? There's no right or wrong. Just make sure you don't fucking lose. Yeah? That's it. I hope you juice the fuck up, though, and maybe at a bare minimum, I hope you get an SFP, right, Hazy? Yeah, pretty cool, though. This is kind of, it really doesn't get any more pixel perfect than this. Yeah, but what you want to do out of pocket is really try to extract as much value from this as possible, okay? Because you and a million other traders, everybody gets the same, you know? So some people get more value than others. So, you know, seeing this play out should be another notch in your belt, and it should help you decide how you want to play failed auctions or when and where. This today is a great example of why none of these I will ever short. And I always wait for the structure to change, and then I take the bearish retest. Whether it's VWAP, whether it's this, whether it's the swing high, swing low, golden pocket, getting lost, and then eventually being resistance. But it's really not like useless bing bong. This is Fibonacci. This is clearly VWAP, right? What does it mean to leave a bad high? Yeah, were you here when we were talking about the swing fail on S&P? I'm just trying to watch all of this, so I'm not going to get got. That's all I know. But this is also the reason why, if you're somebody that's going to short here or short here, you know, instead of doing it like me, like you, that's why you get to make more than me, because you have to deal with this bullshit. Yeah. So as soon as we have a body close below golden pocket, that's when the book says pull the fib from here to here. And then, man, that would be nice to finally get this, huh? Let's make it pixel perfect. Oops. Let's go, chat. Easy money, Bugatti money. Playing with me. Sizzlack, you good? Roth boss, you good? Sizzlack says, what if it holds that long? It's not good to go short here. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's, we talked about this in the morning. Are you sure you're caught up? So we identified this level already. So if you wanted a long, you would have longed here. I mean, a bunch of people took longs here. You know, I think some people got stopped out on the short. Maybe some people are still waiting for this. I don't know. It's kind of up to where you guys are, but let's get that nasty, juicy Baguchi chat. Sizzlack says, nah, I'm not longing all time. Yeah, I mean, we even literally, me and Nixo, we were just talking about what we would do and what the significance of actually cleaning that would be. So even I know what, like, I mean, most of you guys, but like, we all know what that means. And that dictates what we're going to do here. Let's get nasty, chat. Everybody Gucci, everybody caught up. It's pixel perfect. I aim one says Kimba, what if this low time frame ping pong ding dong isn't for me and I'd rather be a swing trader holding trades for weeks? Sure, as long as you understand that there's no such thing as easier. So if you're under the impression that being a swing trader is going to be easier, you're severely mistaken, right? So as long as you truly are more about that kind of trading, then it's okay. But if you're thinking that it's an easier way to trade, then you're wrong right off the bat, right? So obviously anything where there is an opportunity for people to make a lot of money, it naturally forces the best to come about, right? Because if it's easy to understand or easy to do, then everybody can do it, right? So therefore, when everybody tries to trade, it forces the apex to be like actually the people that truly deserve to do it. I mean, to make profit, right? So regardless of whether you want to scalp or you want to hold positions for weeks, the difficulty level is the exact same. So I want to make that perfectly clear. Your next question was, how should I change my perception to not look at small fibs RTH? Just look at 4 hour, 6 hour daily. Yeah, the smallest time frame that you should be looking at is probably 4 hour then. All right, and then clearly you're gonna have to lower your leverage because you know the 618, the distance between the 618 and the 75 might be $3,000. And clearly, like, you need to be able to trade through that kind of gap. So you need to make sure that your leverage is way lower. It's even more imperative that you're patient. All right? Because some people can barely be patient for a whole day. If you're going to be holding positions for weeks, that gets extrapolated to weeks. You have to be patient for weeks. So if you're somebody that can't even sit through a day without getting triggered, I don't know how you plan on holding positions for weeks. So, yeah, but conceptually, I would just go to 4 hour and you just have to increase everything, you know? You're still going to learn and figure out that, dude, it's not even about longing or shorting or being right or wrong. I just need to put stop loss at break even. Because sooner you're going to get to a point where you're able to understand, okay, I have edge, I have a shot. You know, you're going to be able to say, I think I have a 60% chance that this long is going to work. I think I have a 70% chance that this is going to work. You might have a hidden bull div, okay, on the VWAP, which lines up as 7.5 in a single print, and S&P, same thing. And the long might look like it's going to work, and it still might not. It's how many times does it take for you to understand that it's a game of probabilities, and you can really take that to heart instead of just saying that you understand it. But do you really? You know, if I put, if I gave you, you know, Russian roulette, right? If we got a pistol, right? And there's 6 places to put bullets, right? And I put 2 bullets in or 3 bullets in, and I say, hey, play Russian roulette. You would never do that, right? Yet people will constantly take trades, you know? So even though they're not shooting themselves in the head, I mean, technically it's kind of like shooting themselves in the dick. So you gotta know if the long or the short that you're about to take is at least better than 50-50, right? Why the fuck would you take it if you don't know if it's better than 50-50? Like, something has to help you so you confidently can say it's better than 50-50. Because this bitch can only go up or down. You know, if you can't do that, you might as well just flip a fucking coin, to be honest. Don't even waste your time trying to learn this shit. So you got to be able to figure out if it's better than 50-50 at a bare minimum, right? Why the fuck would you long or short if your odds are 50-50? It makes no sense. All right, we got 19 minutos. Copy trading, says Kimba, what's more important for an SFP? Okay, let's see what you asked. Not losing 618 or not closing 30-minute candle above the sweep level? Ooh, that's a great question. If I had to choose, here's the thing, copy trading, most of the time that should both be the same level. That's how you know that that level is, like, you did the right thing by identifying that level. If it's not the same, I'm gonna go with 30-minute candle because, as I have always, I've never compromised on this. I go volume-based level, time-based level, then mathematical level. So if you're gonna make me choose between a mathematical level and a time-based or a volume-based, I'm always gonna choose the 30-minute candle above sweep. Yeah. But that's a tough one because, for example, if it's low volume, like over the weekend or during Macaulay, then I might actually take the 618 into consideration. Or I might ask you, where's the VWAP? Where's the VWAP? Is it above or below the 618? So I would answer your question by saying 30-minute candle above sweep, but you can see that when that's happening might change the answer. Copy trading. But like right now, copy trading, if you just want to know what's going on in my head, I would love an RTH Coinbase 1.25 pixel. Because the high is obviously shit. Copy trading says, I feel like it can pixel fuck above 618 and burst through the sweep level later. Sure. Yeah, and it kind of depends on what you've been seeing, but it's totally okay to kind of consider it a zone and make it more of like a 618, 786 thing too. Arrow Fury says, can it fucking sweep that shit already? Dude, you know what's crazy, Arrow? It's not like exactly what I said, but I feel like in an abstract sense, it's exactly what I said, which was Friday, motherfuckers is going to be talking about Kimba. Do you think that bad high is going to get swept over the weekend? I kind of fucking knew it, dude. I think that's what we're going to deal with tomorrow. I think 65% of the questions tomorrow is going to be that. Kimba, do you think the bad high will get swept? And you know I'm going to have to just keep saying, I don't know. I don't know. The only thing that you can do is decide if you're going to take it. And if you do take it, where your stop loss is going to be. And if you do get round trip, do you want to re-enter over the weekend, or are you going to just take one shot and that's it? I just feel like tomorrow, dude, hella people are going to be like, yo, ain't no fucking way they left that shit like that. You think it's going to get swept over the week? I'm just hoping that shit gets swept so I don't have to hear that shit tomorrow. But dude, I kind of felt like they're going to leave that shit unfinished. On Friday, I'm going to get bombarded with some weird ass questions like that. You know, trying to get my ass to predict the future. I don't know. But I'm just hoping that we clean that shit so I don't have to get that 8 million times tomorrow. But it's starting to look like there's going to be a lot of people talking about, yo, what the fuck? I missed my short by $10. So I hope that they clean that shit during Macaulay. You know, that would be nice. But it wouldn't surprise me one bit. You know, and in that case, I'm going to be a little bit more encouraged about longing 109, right? We'll clean it after 109. Exactly, Godhound. And guess what? If 109 don't work, I'm not tripping either, because guess what? Let's go break 100, get hella people bearish talking about, 100 didn't hold. Go fuck yourself, and then get that thang, right? And whether I can get blessed with a 98 or a 92, one, I'm not scared to long that bitch. And three, oh my God, I would really be happy about some long opportunities on altcoins. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to front run rate cuts, right? So I'm ready for whatever, but tomorrow it would not surprise me if we show up and they leave the high like that. And I still don't know if we're going to clean that shit over the weekend. I don't know what I would do if it cleans it over the weekend. Am I going to take it? I don't know. I mean, CME, it depends on what CME looks like, I guess. Because if CME also looks like ass and it needs to get swept, then probably regardless of what it does over the weekend, even though I'll take it, I'll just expect to get round tripped on Monday and I'll have to take it again on Monday. Captain Nakamoto says, are we getting rate cuts? I have no idea. But if I do take longs on altcoins, I'm doing it with the higher time frame thesis that I'm front running rate cuts. So there is a chance that altcoin season does not happen, that there is no increase in Fed net liquidity, that we don't get rate cuts, maybe fucking tariffs come back, maybe COVID-24 comes back. I don't fucking know. Yeah. But all I'm saying is I'm not scared of longing 98 or 92, and I'm sure the hell not scared of longing altcoins at correlating levels. So, yeah, but you know, that's why I keep harping on the idea that we have a 3-day holiday weekend coming up. So Monday, the markets are closed. However, CME has holiday hours, and so that's why I encouraged everybody to go to the CME website and look at the holiday trading hours. I'm going to be here bright and early, even though it's a holiday 3-day weekend. I'm still showing up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, because we got to get this juice. And then Thursday is GDP and Friday is PCE. And everybody knows that Jerome Powell's favorite inflation indicator recently has been PCE. And so we'll continue to look at what the CME is projecting as probabilities for a rate cut. We'll see if it changes with anything. And then we're back at it again in fucking month of June. We got CPI coming up, and then June 18th or June 17th, it's FOMC. So week by week, level to level, you know what I mean? And the whole objective, we don't necessarily have to get every fucking pixel perfect long and short. We just need to make sure we don't get got. And the money should take care of itself, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing, Lions? Lurson says El Nino Blanco all-time high. I can't do it right now, but if I could, I would just cue up that scene in Home Alone where Kevin is climbing up the wall and he is getting up higher, but right before he gets to the top, everything collapses and he falls down. Yeah, I mean, the thing that you just want to take into consideration is that it's going to be extremely low volume. So you can take that for whatever it is. Usually whatever happens, like for example, let's say that this nukes to 886 during Macaulay. You know that the CME gap is going to be right at golden pocket. So it gives you a higher chance that it's going to actually do a bearish retest, right? It would be different if we had nuked while CME was open and we went to the 886. Then the 7.5 bearish retest, for example, would be on the table. But if it did nuke, then for sure, like the golden pocket retest would be higher probability than if it had done it during CME. So, and then on the flip side, imagine if it doesn't do a CME sweep, but it does a derivative sweep on Coinbase and or derivative during Macaulay. That's also an even easier swing fail than if it had done it with S&P or CME, because CME kind of has like a rounded top. Even though it's not the best high, the structure is okay. So you can look at it both ways. Whatever happens, you should always be, or whenever it happens, there's probably a little piece of data that you can use to your advantage, some way, somehow. Lab M says rotate, lose it. Yo, Lab M, on God, the more bearish you get, I'm gonna get more bullish. I'm just teasing you. I hope you had that kind of bearish energy when I was telling everybody, yo, the last place that you shorting below the golden pocket is too late. I hope you had that bearish energy up here, not fucking down here. Because you're gonna fuck me up if you're getting bearish here. I'm telling you, I'm not even teasing you, brother. You're gonna get got. Don't get bearish on me because you know when you get bearish, dink, dink, dink. And wouldn't it be fair to say, even if you were semi-joking, that instead of getting got and sounding like an idiot, it would actually be the best way to really celebrate like a rotation would be when CME comes back, and if there is a gap, it actually respects it and it doesn't like full collapse on you. But if you want to celebrate, we should do it in a way where we don't open ourselves up to jinx it or sound like an idiot. So even when it comes to celebrating a position, there's a safe time to do it and a risky time to do it. Right now, it's way too risky. You shorted 111, 700, nice. I honestly, brother, whether you were longing or shorting, I would be just as proud. But then you of all people, I would expect to be able to keep your composure. Yeah, because if you can't be objective at a crucial level like the golden pocket when you're juicing on a trade, I guarantee you that you're gonna have you're gonna be in consideration for a round trip. Yep. But brother, if we can get like really below 109. That's when you start to look like a failed auction of the previous all-time high. And, let's go get that 100. Right? But I'm kind of ready to scalp. Are you going to scalp long 109 or you're going to say, fuck that, Lab M? Obviously, the data is the data, but assuming that there's like a hidden CVD bull div, because I'll probably take it.